So we are going to begin our lesson for today. And so we are still on writing and formatting text. We are still looking at writing and formatting text. And our outline for today, we have creating and formatting text box, creating tables, inserting charts, inserting smart graphic. Then we are also going to look at enhancing slides with action. We're also going to look at how to, okay, all these are under the enhancing. So under the enhancing, we are going to look at what is an elimination and others. We are also going to look at, okay, we're also going to look at the various animations we have and its subheadings. Then we have transition and its subheadings. We're also going to look at how to insert video and audio clips. Then lastly, we will look at insert hyperlink, how to insert a hyperlink with our lesson for today. So we are going to look at creating tables. In PowerPoint, you can create tables in PowerPoint. So this morning, we are going to look at how to create tables in PowerPoint. And we are saying that when you want to organize complex data on a slide, you use what we call a table. A table is a grid into which you can type text in the individual cells at the intersection of each column and row. So the table we have, you can type inside the table where we have the grid of lines, and they are called cells. And the cell is the intersection of rows and columns. So in Excel, in PowerPoint, if you want to insert a complex data, you want to organize data in the form of complex, when it's complex or something like that, you can use the tables to create your data. You're also saying that PowerPoint has automated the process of creating a table so that you can simply specify the number of columns and rows and then type data to achieve professional formatted results. So when you enter the data into the table, you can arrange the data in a professional manner so that you can achieve the results you want. So we are also saying that PowerPoint also offers several ways to insert a table. We have several ways you can insert a table. The simplest is to click on Insert Table icon in any context of the placeholder. Then you can also insert a table with the table button on the Insert tab. So as we've been doing, we'll be doing the practicals alongside. So if you have your laptop, you can flow with me so that we go along doing the practicals as we do the presentation also. So we have inserting charts. So in PowerPoint, you can also insert what we call charts. So let's look at what a chart is. Chart represent information visually and help the audience understand your point. So it's a visual representation of anything you have. Please, can you see my screen? Now in PowerPoint, we can also insert charts. And the chart represent information visually and help the audience to understand your point. So when you want to represent a chart, or when you represent a chart in your PowerPoint, it helps the audience to do understand whatever you are teaching them, the point you are making. So they give an instant impression of trends, or they compare set of data such as what? Sales growth or growth over what? Several year span. Several year span. So we have chart tells what? Story of what? A brief viewing and what can convey statistical information quickly. That is about charts. So for example, you have a data telling us about the population of what? Jaskan College of what? Education. Jaskan College of what? Education. You can present this data in the form of what? A chart. So when somebody picks the chart, you will see that this line or this bar represents what? The number of what? Female. This bar, which is colored green, represents what? The males, etc. And the tutors, etc. That's why we are saying that charts gives what? Represent information visually and help audience to understand what? Your point. Okay. Now let's look at the steps we use to create a chart. The steps we use to create a chart. So the steps are on the screen. You first select a slide with a content what? Placeholder. You click the insert what? Chart icon. The insert chart dialog box appear. You click a chart type category. Then you click a specific chart type. Then you click on what? Okay. Then you click on what? Okay. That's how we insert what? Charts. So we are first going to look at how to insert table. Then we quickly move on to how to insert what? Charts. So I'm going to demonstrate for you to see. So let me share my screen once again. So I'm going to do the demonstration for you to see. So I have invitation on the screen, which I will open. The slide we've been working with the past days. So let me share this slide. Okay. So we are going to look at how to insert a table in a slide. So for example, you have a slide, you are creating your slide, and you have some data which you want them to be in the form of what? A table. You can do that in what? In PowerPoint. And let's look at how you do it. Now, the first point is that you click on the Insert tab. So you click on Insert. Then you click on what? Table. So you see an arrow, you click on what? The table. As soon as you click on the table will appear. So we have the rows and what? The columns. So the question is, how many columns do you want? How many rows do you want? So let's say we want 4 columns. We want 4 rows. So 4, 4. That's the dimension. So you see on the screen, I have my table created nicely. So when you come to the design here, when you select the table, you can come to the design and change the format. So you can select a different format of your choice. So you can continue by doing what? Entering what? The data. Number of students. So then we have what? Total. Okay, let me put here class. Let's have here male, the number of male students we have. Male, female, then total. So you see, So the class will be maybe ICT class. The number of male, let me put any figure there, 7. Then the female, 6. Then the total will be 13. Wow. So you put the total there. So anything you want to do with the table, you can do it. You can format your table. Anything you feel like doing, you can fill the table with colors. The color that you want, you can change the color. So assuming I want to make this column color red, I just go then change the color. So you can also format what? Your table to suit whatever you are doing. So we have, so when you click on the design, you can select the designs of your choice. Then the next thing is shading. We have the style of what? Shading. You can shade the cells. For example, this one, the female cell, I can shade it to be what? Yellow or maroon. The female and male. Then the class, I can also shade that one to be what? Blue. So you can format it by changing what? The colors. We have other styles also over here, the word art style. Then the draw borders. With the draw borders, you can increase the borders. That's the thickness of the border. We have different styles. So you can increase the thickness over here. For example, I want it to be 6 point. I can increase it. So you can see the pen. So I'll just click and drag to increase what? The thickness of the border. So you can see it now. Good. Now, when you click on the design also, we have draw table and we have what? Eraser. So if you want to draw additional table, you can just select what? Draw table. So you see the pointer has changed to what? A pen or pencil. So you can click and do what? Drag to draw your table. These are not a manual way of what? Drawing what? A table. So you pick it again. Maybe you want to bring in your rows and hot columns. So you click and drag. This is not what I want. So let me see. It should be able to demarcate. Okay, we'll come back to that. So that's how we draw table. And you can also erase what? A table. So for example, I have this table. I have these columns. So I can just go to the design, then erase what? It's not working. Why? Okay, let me just do it on the table I created. Let me just do it on the table I created. So we have this session. So we have the class column, we have ICT. So take a look at this. We have a grid line between what? ICT and then class. So assuming you want to do away with the grid line for which is under the class, you just select it, then you go to what? Eraser. You select the eraser by clicking on it. So you see that the pointer has changed to what? Eraser. Then what you have to do is that you click to erase what? The line. So you can erase to image what? The cells. So by doing this, you are doing what? You are imaging what? The cells. So this how, basically, this is how we format what? A table. This is how we format what? A table. We also have the layout. With the layout, we have delete a table, insert a table above. So if you want to insert a table above the table you have, you can just click on insert a table above. Then we also have insert below. You can insert a table below the table you are having. So let me select insert table below for you to see. So I've clicked on insert table below. So you see additional columns has been what? Added. So if I say above, it will be above. So let me select the first one and click, go to layout, then select what? Insert above. You see there's another column at the top. So there's another column at the top. So that is insert above. Then insert below, you can insert tables below. Then left and right, you can also split what? The cells. So assuming you want to split these cells, you just highlight. You all know how to highlight. So you just click and drag to highlight. Then you select what? Split. So it will divide the cell. It will split the cell into what? Into two. So how many columns? 1, 2. How many rows? 1. So you click. That splitted what? The cells into 2 columns, what? And 1 what? Row. Then we have image cells. You can also image what? The cells. So assuming you want to image all these cells, and under the total, we have column 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to image all of them. So you just highlight, then you come to what? Image cells. So you have imaged all the cells. So this column, you can type anything you want to type in this column. You can type whatever you want to type in this column. Then we also have the text direction. I'm touching the important one, the text direction. Sometimes in the table, you see that the text in the table has been changed to a certain direction. This is how they do it. So you pay attention to it. So for example, I want the total to change, the direction of the total to change into a different direction, either horizontal, vertical, rotate, etc. So I'm going to do that. So I want it to be in a horizontal. So first it's already in horizontal. So I want it to be in what? In a vertical. So I'll just rotate what? The cell. So click. You see that the total has changed. The direction has changed. Let me do it once again. So you first highlight the text, then go to the text direction. So I'm changing the direction of what? The text. We have more direction. So I want it to be vertical alignment. So you can apply them over here. So you see that the direction has changed. The direction has changed. So you can choose another direction, another direction, another direction. Good. Then I think that is about the direction. During question time, I'll take questions so that if you have any question to ask, I can explain more. So be making or be jotting down your questions so that you can ask me questions. Good. So that's about the table. So that's how we insert table. And there's a simple way to also insert a table by using the placeholder. You can also do what? Insert a table. By using the placeholder, you can also do what? Insert a table. So watch over here is what? Insert what? Charts, etc. So if you want to insert your table, you can just come to the placeholder. This is the placeholder, the entire line over here where you do your typing. Then you click on insert table. Then to ask you, how many columns do you want? How many rows do you want? So I want 4 columns, I want 4 rows, or 3 or 5, etc. rows. So let's say we want 6 rows. Then you click on OK. It will also create your table for you. It also do what? Create your table for you. Good. So that's how we create tables. Now let's move on to look at how to create charts. How to create charts. So the same procedure, you go to insert, then under the insert we have tables, we have images, column or groups, we have illustrations. So under the illustration we have shapes, we have smart art, we have charts. So what do we want to do? We want to insert charts. Good. So let me go back to the table and do something there for you to see. I want you to see the example of a table and a chart. Now we have this table, class. Let me quickly draw this line. We have the class, we have the male, we have the female, we have the total. So we are going to use this to draw our chart. We are going to use this to draw our chart. Let me organize the table very well. I want to organize the table so that you understand what I'm doing. So class, male, female. So we are going to use this data to represent what? A chart. So the class is what? ICT. The male, let me give any raw figure. So the male 8. Then normally the male doing ICT are more. So let me say the male 23, female let me give 9. Then the total will be 23 plus, it will be 32. Good. So let me change the direction. Let me change the direction. Let me quickly change the direction of the text. So I go back to direction, then change back to horizontal. Good. So now we want to insert a chart. So we have this data. We want to represent this data on what? On a chart. So this is the procedure. You go to insert. Then you come to what? Chart. So you click on what? Chart. But first of all, let's highlight what we have in the table. Let's highlight or select what we have in the table, then select what? The chart. Good. So they are asking, so we have all charts over here. So the columns are here. What type of chart or which type of chart do you want to create? Now we have columns, we have line, we have pie chart, we have bar chart, we have area, etc. So you will select the kind of chart you want to create. So I want to create what? A pie chart with the data I have. So I have selected what? Pie. Then after that, you click on what? OK. You click on what? OK. So let's wait for our chart to appear. So we have our chart on the screen. The data didn't appear, so we have the chance to insert what? Our data. Fine. So the first one is what? ICT. Or we can even ignore the class. So let's say the first one is what? Male. But don't forget, you have to give a topic. So the topic will be ICT class. Good. Male, we have 23. Female, with the female, we have what? 9. So we are finished drawing. So we don't need this data. So we will delete this data. So after you finish, you just press enter, or you can close the table at the top here where you did the entry. So you just close it here. So on the screen, you can see your chart. You can see the chart on the screen. So let me make it bigger. You can see the chart on the screen. So we have ICT class. So the green is representing what? The female. And the blue is representing what? The male. So how will you know that this is for male, this is for female? We can go back. We have different styles. Look here, under the design, when you select the chart, we have the design. Under the design, we have different what? Styles over here. So I want this style. So the style I've chosen is telling me that, so the 9 females represent what? 28%. And the 23 male is representing what? 72%. So we have the key over here. So the key is telling you that the blue is for male, the green is for what? Female. So you can see that the chart is giving you what? A visual what? Meaning of the data you have, of the data we have in the table. The data we have in the table. So in the table we have 23.9. So we have represented that in what? In a chart form. The chart can be in a different format. It can be in a pie chart or what? A bar chart. Any type of chart you want, you have to do what? You have to select it. And we have different types of what? Options over here. We have under the data, we have the data there. We have the chart styles. We have the chart layout. So you can apply them. So you can change, for example, the type. You can change the chart type. So I want to use what? Bar chart. So I go back to the format, the design, then go to what? Change chart type. Then I select what? Bar chart. So bar, then click on what? Okay. You see that on the screen, it has changed to what? A bar chart. So we have 9 females and we have what? 23 male. So that's how we insert what? The chart. That's how we insert tables and charts. Don't forget to practice these activities. It's very important. So that whenever you are creating your slide and you want to enter a table, you can quickly and easily do that. You can present your data in the form of what? Charts. You can do all that. Now let's go back to the slide. In 2 minutes, we'll be logging out and logging again. Now, I'm sharing my slide. Good. So we are done with how to create table and also a chart. Table and also a chart. Table and a chart. Please